Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa. I hope you're all having a wonderful and creative day, and I am here celebrating my Christmas, birthday, Hanukkah, Valentine's Day, Easter gift to myself. And there it is. Oh, I can't believe I bought this. I did. I have been eyeballing this for a while, and there's quite a few reasons that I bought it. First off, I saw it on Amazon on sale for $108.98, and it came with all 6 of the sets. Each of these sets are normally $24.99, so 25 bucks. So 6 of them would be $150. And it also came with the newest color Scorched Timber pencil, and then replacements of the black and white that I guess go pretty fast, so they sent it. I checked the Ranger website, and this whole pack would be $158 and some odd cents. So this ad being $108 was $50 cheaper. So basically 2 of these tins for free. Now, not really free, but you know what I mean. So I thought that was a great deal. So one of the reasons I had to get it. I'm gonna start opening this as I do the rest. As you can see, I have not opened it. Just came to do this. So the other thing I saw, the reason I got it, is because I saw some people making watercolor palettes with these. And I also got these on Amazon. They are, they're called ink palettes. But what I saw people do is they took a pencil sharpener and they sharpened these and put the shavings in one of these pots, added some water, and created a watercolor palette. So I got 2 of them because there's 36 of them, and there is technically 37 colors because of the white. But I figured I could make 2 palettes of these, so I could use the brushes to do watercolor, I could use the crayons to color, just so many ways that you can use it. I was watching a couple of the videos before I got it, and you can use the crayon to draw and then take a wet paintbrush on there to make it watercolor. You can take a wet paintbrush and touch the crayon and it becomes a watercolor. Like I said, I'm going to do the palette for this. You could just draw with it in general and not even wet it. I mean, there was just so many different ways to use it, and I thought with how long these sticks are, the shaving's not going to take too much down. You can just keep shaving this and have watercolors for the rest of your life. And bonus, I do have all of those, not even all of them, I have so few compared to this. I do have my Distress Oxides in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14-ish colors, and there's 72 colors. I was never ever going to be able to get all of the inks in these because that's a lot of them. I think these are like $5 each. So I mean, just cost wise, I thought this was, even though it is a big kind of chunk of change to begin with, I thought the cost wise was a lot better off to be able to get them as a separate thing. So set 1, beautiful colors. They got all the lovely colors. That has the black and white, the replacements are in there. Set 2, some fun colors in there. And then the set 3, a little bit darker, woodier colors. And then the second set that he released, set 4, very fun. Set 5 and set 6. So my thoughts, and I'm gonna pause the video. When I come back, I'll have a lot more done, but this might take me a day or 2 to do. But my thoughts are, I'm going to, and I did stamp this ahead of time. I got some watercolor papers, and I took those stitch stamps that I recently got, and I, with archival ink, stitched 2 separate, thumb in the ink, 2 separate swatch cards where I can swatch the color, put it like darker to lighter in there. And I figured since there's 2 separate ink palettes, I did the cards with 36, so I can have one set of ink palettes go to one, the other go to the other one, and I'd be able to see what it looks like on watercolors. So I'm going to do that swatching. When I kind of get used to doing it, I'll probably film a little bit of how I swatched it, but I'm not going to do the whole thing on camera because crazy. So I'm going to do that off camera. But then again, I also have to create the shavings, so I'm going to have to sharpen all of the pencils into there and add some water to them. And I have to figure out how to do that. But again, I'll probably come back and show you how I did a couple of them or one of them just to show how I did it. But again, not going to put you through all of that issues. And the last thing that I'll probably end up doing, so how long that goes, is I did stamp a watercolor paper with those houses that I got on from Michael's not too long ago. But I took and I stamped all the houses, and I thought it'd be fun to be able to take a crayon pencil, be able to draw because it's thin, and then take the water brush and watercolor it. So I'm going to see how that looks, but I did that also with the archival paint. So that's on a watercolor. So yes, very, very excited. I am going to put the link down below for this kit, master kit, whatever you want to call it, bundle, because it was such a good deal for it. Now I know this is like way more expensive than a lot of people would probably want to get, but my theory is I don't drink, I don't smoke, we don't go to dinner very often, we don't go on vacation, we don't go to movies. I know my life sounds kind of sad doing that, but I like to craft. So this is my vacation out to dinner, birthday, Christmas present to myself, and I'm very excited. So I'm going to pause the video. I might come back in like 2-3 days. It might take me a while, and you will see the outcome of what this looks like. All right, so here is my progress on my swatching. So I finished the first 3 tins and swatched them all. I do love that stamp that did the little stitches around there. Very fun. This has also been a great practice to get how to feel, how to use, spread the watercolors out compared to the beginning, nearer to the end. But I just thought I'd bring you along for the last couple rows here. And basically what I did is I took every color. I needed about 5, I don't know what you call it, marks going across for it. I do have like a watercolor brush that I've been using, and I found out that the best way to do it is I put a little water below it, and then I slowly wet the color lines, and then once I could tell that the lines are gone, I just dragged the color down to it and called it done. Now, as you can see on my little rag, color comes. I have a bucket of water. I've been using this bucket of water for the whole thing. The water doesn't go, it doesn't change color. I don't know what, because I've used watercolor before, and it doesn't take long for that to become muddy. So I don't know what magic Mr. Tim Holtz has done, but so wet the bottom, take and get that wet so that it can be spread, and just bring it down to get a little bit of color. That is all I've been doing for this. I did start out by really trying to just doing the top. I added the water below, kind of a wet on wet technique later on. Again, kind of just, this is a great way to kind of figure out how to work these things. Now, I can't say this is the best watercolor paper in the world. It is from Dollar Tree. It was $3 for a bucket or a book or whatever you want to call it. So is it the best watercolor paper to do? No, but it is the watercolor paper I have. And I did hear somewhere that it said, swatch on paper you're going to use, because that's what it's going to look like. So for right now, this is what I have. So this is what I'm going to use. All right, this tea dye is dark. Ooh. Yummy. Yummy. I say the tea dye that I have is not that dark in the, what do you want to call it? The actual ink blocks. Brushed corduroy, fun. So yeah, so this has been fun. I have also started and I can't show you because they would tip, but I have one bin of the first sheet of paper that I showed you. I do have them in the little bin trays. what I did was I made the swatches like this, and then I went and took the same trays and did the palettes. That has also been a process that I've been kind of tweaking and learning, because the videos I saw mentioned that they made palettes, but they really never said, you know, how much water, how much shavings. So it's been kind of a learn as I go process on that first tin. When I get to the end of this second tin here, I will jump back on to show you what I've done. Ooh, that ground espresso is yummy. This scorched timber, this came as a separate pencil, and it broke on me when I drew those lines right in the center. I don't know if I can, I mean, I wasn't pressing as hard, like, I don't know what happened. I've had a weak spot, but you can see it there. It's cracked. I mean, it's still usable. I just keep sharpening it down until I go. But, yeah, it was kind of like shocking when it cracked on me. I was like, what? I did see, and I watched a couple of the videos from Tim Holtz when he first launched these, the first set of 3. And he said that at that point they had no thought of selling any colors individually. But I did notice when I went to the Ranger website, I got the a cheat sheet for these colors. And if I think about it, I'll put a picture of it up after I do the swatch. And that's the color order I put these in. Not to say it's right, but it was from the Ranger website who makes this. And I figured if that's the color order they put it in, that's the color order I'm going to go. I really put too much black on there, but that's what it is. But I did notice, where I was going on that, I did notice that they are selling each individual crayon for, I think, $2.49. So if I absolutely can't stand that black soot or scorched timber being broken, I can order a new one. But yeah, there we go. So these are going to dry as well. These have dried. And I'm going to do now the patina, the palettes for this set of colors. All right, we are in the home stretch of making my palette. All right, so I've obviously made quite a few of these, and the first batch is drying. I think it's going to take overnight to dry. And here's the second batch. But the concoction that I've come up with, very not scientific, but I've got my straw and a cup of water, and I've been just using it as like a pipette, and I've been putting enough in there to, it's probably hard to see, but it's like a circle in the center, but I'm putting enough in there to just touch the outside. I don't know, not very scientific, but if it, there we go. It's not quite half of it, but it's a little bit more than, I'd say, half of it covered. And then I'm going to do the shavings. Ooh, that's probably too much. Soak some of it out of there. That's not helping. All right, took most of it out of there. Okay, I did it again. I need a new cleaner because that one's getting kind of dirty. All right, put a little bit in there. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I don't remember what I was going to say before that got too filled. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I was doing it where I was putting the shavings in first and then the water, and I couldn't tell how much water was going into each one, so I kind of switched it around. in the second palette where I'm doing the water first, because I can kind of control that a little bit more. Okay, so I'm on my last palette here, and I have my, I have my cheat sheet. So I know this one starts with ground espresso. So I've got my there, and I've got my ruler. I have just a piece of paper here that I have folded in half to make a sort of funnel. And what I've been doing is between 5 and 6 turns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do a little bit more. Sometimes the first turn wouldn't give that much. Knocking it off. And since I have it like folded, move that out of the way. I also learned to put a piece of paper above it, because sometimes a color would fall in the back and I have to try to fish it out, or it would just get mixed in and kind of taint the color a little bit. All right, do my best to knock everything off, brush off any extra. All right, on to Scorched Timber, which is the one that's broken. So yeah, it's just been a bit of a trial and error for this. I did the first row of the other palette yesterday. Since it's taken me a couple days to do all this, and it did dry overnight, but I had to like add more to a couple of the colors, because it really, the water evaporated and there was like, you could see almost white in the bottom. It hardly gave any color at all. So since I'm doing the rest of them, I'll hopefully see tomorrow what they look like and see if I have to add any. So this video could be 3-4 days in the making, just because it's taking a bit of time to do. I'm trying to keep everything in its little container here. I've been doing it this way, where the color, as you can sort of see, it starts to soak itself in, and then I stir it, and I won't know, so if you stay tuned to the end of the video or after I come back, that if this quantity of water and 5 or 6 turns of shavings is the right amount, until it all dries, and I have to see how it turns out. But so far, I think it's going to be okay. I also have tweezers that if I had to pick any up, they're hard to pick up. You probably can see there are pieces here, like this was probably this one, but if they were big enough I could pick them up. If they're too small I couldn't, so they're going to have to just, when all dry, blown off or picked up. But from right now, they're going to have to stay. All right, last one. And I've been knocking it out to make sure that nothing stays in there, trying to contaminate the next color. But so far, whoops, I see that one missed, but I think that's big enough. I should be able to hopefully pick that one up with my tweezers and get it in there. There we go. Okay, so once this has been in here, I've got just a pin on a stick, and I've been mixing it. Oops, gotta hold on to it. Been mixing it to try to break up all the little itty bitties that are in there, and then just wiping it off in between. So yeah, it seems to be going pretty good. Like I said, the height of the palette right now seems pretty good, but I know it's going to shrink down when it dries based on that first row I did on the other one. But I was putting less water in it before, so I'm hoping that I have more water in these and they will hopefully stay thick enough. But we'll see. Since the thing's on, there's like a dip. I saw there's like a divot in there, so this pin does get stuck. Kind of a little bit of annoying, but doable. Yeah, so this is how so far it's gone. And like I said, I will come back in a few seconds in this video, but it will be tomorrow. Hopefully not the next day. After these all dry, and we give it a little test to see how the palette ends up working and how we can paint with them. So, all right, see you in a bit. All right, it is the next day, and my palettes are not completely dry just yet. It's probably hard to tell on camera, but like this green one still has some water in it. This pink one does, this green one does. Most of them are dry, but that one's got a little bit. I think probably another day to let them dry completely. This one doesn't have as much pigment. I can kind of see the divot in there, but it probably has enough in there. Some of them have more, some have less, but again, total experiment on how it was going. So what I think I'm going to do to finish this video up is play with the crayon portion of the program and not the palette portion of the program. So let me get that ready to go. Okay, I'm not sure if I showed these dried or not, but these were the 2 sheets of my palette where I drew out the samples for them. And I think they turned out really fun for that after they dried. You can see that black one, if you definitely dried a little bit better for it, and yeah, I love it. So I have these as my cheat sheets, as they say, to look at what they look like. So what I originally thought of doing was to take stamped images and use like a crayon and, you know, draw in, and then take a watercolor pencil and water it down. But I'm not quite sure how much water to use, what to do, so I'm going to start with something much easier. So we're going to put this aside for another day in the probably far, far future. Sometimes I overestimate my abilities to do things. Jump in with both feet, you know, kind of deal, but hit the bottom and crash. All right, so I'm going to take these, but I'm not going to do a full sheet. I'm going to cut it into 4 sheets. That'll be, I think, like 5 by 4. All right, here is one of them that are cut down, and there is like a rougher side and a smoother side. I think I'm gonna try the smoother side. Now, what I'm gonna do is like a Zentangle kind of thing, where you just make lines and then color them in. Very, very basic. So I've seen it done where people will use the watercolor pencil to make the lines in like black and then color them in, but I'm thinking that these being they're a little bit thicker, I don't know, the lines to me might be a little too thick. So what I think I'm going to use is my micron. I've got my biggest number, and I'm going to draw the lines, but I think I need to put something below it. Let me get one of these, because I want to do the lines all the way to the end, and since they're not going to be what you would call bone straight, they're freehand. So I'm just going to draw a bunch of lines, not care where they end up going, not care if they intersect, but just to make places to color. All right, I think that should be enough. Now, one of the other things that people do, which I don't think I'm going to do on this one, I could probably do it afterwards, is they go in and color in the intersections, but I think I'll do that afterwards if I decide I want to do it. Okay, so I'm going to put out my colors. These all have that tin you saw at the top, but I've taken it off to save some time. I'm just going to put my colors around me, and I've got a water brush to be able to spread it, and I got my cup of water, which is still clear. It's getting a little cloudy, I have to say. I think I'll probably change it after this one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in similar to how I did the squares, and then go with the water brush and expand it. Just random play, random drawing. I'm just going to start with something and go from there. Yeah, very exciting. I'm not sure how much to color, but I'm going to color quite a bit for it, I think. We'll see. I feel like a kid in a candy shop here with all these crayons to play with, very fun. So I was thinking about this since it's actually been taking me a couple days to do this. I'm hoping I'm not feeling a little too scammy selling stuff, because I had the stamps that come out, but I just wanted to share the stuff that I find with everybody, and then give my feedback on what happens. And I don't know, I might get too excited over some stuff, I don't know, but yeah. So I'm hoping it's not coming out to out of the deal sales kind of deal. All right, watercolor brush, and well, might as well just start with yellow. And from what I learned from doing those samples is kind of wait for a second to really just get the water to flow and color it in. Cute. I like it. I probably should do one across the other way so these don't run right now. The other thing I need to get, and I'll probably put it on my wish list, but I think I've kind of absorbed all my wish list stuff buying this set, is one of those dryers that, not a hair dryer, because I do have a hair dryer, but that blows the water around, that will dry everything a little bit quicker. I'm not even sure how much they cost. I mean, they might cost like $5, and I'm like, why don't I just get one? Or they cost 50, and I'll be like, that's probably too expensive. But I don't have one, so it's on my list of things to get. Okay, that went over, but that's okay. I don't think I could pick this up. Oh, I did a little. Okay. Now it seems that this black on this micron pen is running just a tad. Not sure why. I might need to investigate that a little bit more, but I thought this was, since it was archival ink, it wouldn't run in water, but once again, jumping in with the feet, not investigating. Might be my downfall. Okay, we are getting somewhere. Now, when I was grabbing these colors, I wasn't looking at my little chart, because I was just randomly grabbing it. But if I had a specific project in mind, I would probably, look at the chart and grab a couple colors, make something that, goes together. But for this was really just kind of grab a color and go. Yeah, oops, forgot to clean it. But I think it'll blend. I don't think it's gonna really change it too much. Now, one thing I have to investigate too is, like if you have that, the palette on the plastic, like if you pick up some of this color, and then you pick up, I gotta stop touching the parts that I've painted. You pick up this color, and then mix it on a palette, would you get a third color or a second color? Third color. I am not sure. All right. Well, that is definitely not bad. It is running. I gotta be careful where that blue one runs. This was, I had not wet this, so I thought this might pick up a little bit of the pigment. Okay. All right, so I'll probably just put a darker color there when I get to it because it'll be easier to cover over it. But yeah, let's see what we can pick out now. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward the rest of this so you don't have to sit through every single bit. I think I'm going to color both of these here because they're so close and tiny. So you don't have to watch every single bit of this. And we'll just be able to come out at the end and see what it looks like. Okay, so this is all dried and fun. I definitely like the shading of some of the colors, and I went back and added like a little border on some, and I did go back with that micron and do the line over again. So my thought was I probably should have maybe done it with a pencil and then do that and then put the black on, and just fun. So probably use that as some sort of journal card or something, put a little focal point on there, but definitely fun as my first artwork. So after I did that, I decided to do the version that I mentioned where we put the black watercolor pencil and colored it. Definitely got a lot muddier, but it still worked for it. 2 different looks for that. And then I got really brave, and I can't believe I'm showing this to the public, but I did a little landscape where I did some greens and some browns, and did some blues and some purples, did some trees in the background, got some mud, and my interpretation of a barn or house, but those birds are cute, right? I did that with a micron pen. I mean, I'm pretty proud of the background. Like, it's sort of looked, you know, like some clouds where I took the color out, and you know, the trees look like they're disappearing with the wood. So not too bad. What I did learn is this Dollar Tree watercolor paper really can't be overworked. It started rubbing off a little bit, so it definitely can't be worked and worked. And I really could use one of those dryers, because I got too impatient and tried to color on stuff that was wet, and I think that's where a lot of the errors came into. So did I learn a lot? Yes. Did I learn that I'm not talented? Yes. So yeah, but it's just fun to play. I mean, I had so much fun playing with this stuff. But I think the next, I don't think I'm going to be doing a ton of these watercolor videos. It's not really what I got them for. To play, yes. Will I use it in my junk journals? For sure. But I'm thinking what I might end up doing next at some point is not really being, you know, artsy on this. But I happened to notice when I was, you know, on this side, I have these stamps. And I did see somebody where they colored these stamps because of the red ones. I think even Tim Holtz did it, where you colored the red stamps, spritzed it with water, and then stamped onto some papers. So I think I might make some backgrounds using that in the upcoming near future, because I think those would be really pretty to do for that. So, well, I am hopefully this video is not, you know, 3 hours long, because I was doing it. It literally took me 3 days to make it, you know, a little bit at a time. So hopefully it's not too long, and hopefully you've got some inspiration to just go out and play and not be afraid to, you know, just do something new, something different. I mean, the more I look at it, I think this is really pretty. This is a little dirty, but I'm kind of proud of that. Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm proud of it. Okay, that is gonna be it for me today. I appreciate each and every one of you that stopped by, and as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.